Is it the 9th of Feb today?
Yeah.
9th of February, 11:58, and I'm sat here with 4 candidates for the National Diploma in Extended Diploma in Sport. My name is Lee Perry, I'm the tutor, and we're just going to have a discussion about environmental issues relating to 4 different activities that these candidates actually took part in. So just for the record, guys, could you just state your name on the camera, please?
Scott Newman.
Anthony Pratley.
Chris what?
Chris Wisniewski.
What?
Krzysztof Wiśniewski.
Okay.
Bruno Cardoso.
Bruno Cardoso. Right, okay. So what's your first activity, Scott?
Rafting.
Rafting. All right, so could you give me an environmental issue with regards to rafting?
An issue is like river pollution and riverbank erosion.
All right, so you've got, all right, and how are those issues alleviated?
Well,
or reduced?
Well, if you go too fast in a raft, it creates waves which then hit the side of the riverbank and it erodes the bank.
All right.
Yeah.
And how can you reduce that?
Well, you go slower.
Yeah.
And
well, what do Skern Lodge do to reduce that as an issue? They just go slow, do they?
yeah. Well. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today when we was there, they slowed down a bit. They said stop rowing.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably not go to the side of the river either. Just stay.
Try and stay away from the bank.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, Anthony, if you can give me another issue, please.
I got one of destruction of habitat.
Yeah.
So when we was there, we decided to do wrestling.
Yeah.
On the raft.
Yeah.
A lot of people standing on the grounds on the outside, like they could be habitats of birds because of the trees.
Yeah.
People were breaking off trees.
Yeah.
So what they done with us, they moved us over a bit.
Right.
So we was well away, stop people from breaking things, obviously. Putting down any bird's nests that could have been up there.
All right, so they just chose the ground where you actually did that as an issue. Okay. Another issue, please, Chris?
Issue like the travelling to get there.
Yeah.
Like the CO2 emissions from like the car.
Yeah.
Or like if you need to like move the equipment from like the store to like another place.
Yeah.
Like so it's affecting it.
Yeah.
We could reduce that by like storing the equipment somewhere else, somewhere closer.
Yeah.
Or like get a smaller car.
Get a smaller car. All right. Well, how are you going to get all the people down there in a smaller car?
Instead of like people like driving there, they could cycle there.
Yeah. So just alternative measures. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Would you like? Can you evaluate that? A couple of those areas for me, Bruno, in terms of the.
Okay, so I'm going to pick the issue that Chris just talked about.
Yeah.
A pro of that method is obviously it would reduce the CO2 emissions.
Yeah.
The problem with that is Skern Lodge probably don't have enough bikes for everyone to travel them down, and besides, there will always have to be someone in there taking care of all the bikes when people are on the rafts and stuff like that, so they can get stolen as well.
So you're saying it's not practically...
No, it's not really practical, to be fair, because of the amount of people there's there for the activity.
Would they be better going down in separate cars?
No. Probably if you get a bigger van, I would say, just to carry everyone in the same van, it would save, obviously, less emissions than 2 cars.
All right.
So they always say one bus equals 25 cars.
Or we would split some people in the van and some people in bicycles.
Okay, all right. And one of the other areas?
Other areas, you spoke about...
habitat and wildlife.
Yeah, but what was the actual issue?
Issue was us standing on the grounds and disrupting the habitat.
Obviously, something you could do about that is like search sort of do a how do you say that? Like study the place before you go there.
Yeah.
Just to know what places are more like they got more animals and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
go to different places.
Yeah.
So we will avoid destructing that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pro of that is if you do get it right, obviously
Yeah.
you've got to be far away from the animal
Yeah.
and the wildlife. But the con about that is it's not going to be totally effective. So if you miss something, then you get like more people into a place where there's like wildlife and animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you'll have more people in that place.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to jump in when you. Did you want to say something, Auntie?
Yeah, what they said to us that they know a spot where they can do this wrestling thing.
Yeah.
What we done. So if they kept going there, it's going to obviously get worse and worse and worse and erode it away and just trample everything.
Mm.
So what I think that they could do is go to there, say, for a couple of weeks, go to somewhere else, and then that can rebuild back up
Yeah.
the habitat.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else, then move along.
Yeah. Just
They're
make
like a
it.
sheep mapper, so you move sheep to different parts of your field, so they grow back again.
Yeah. Make it more sustainable.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you for that. All right. Thank you for that, guys. Could you move on to your next activity, please?
Next,
Search and rescue.
yeah, next one we're doing search and rescue.
Could just for the record, just explain what search and rescue is?
Search and rescue is we split into two groups. One of them, Scott, was a casualty.
Yeah.
He got put somewhere in this. I can't remember what the thing was called where we went. But he was put out in a land.
Yeah.
We had to go and find him. We had to use these different rescue techniques to look for him. We had a map, and it was either in one place or another, or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And we had to take him from there up to the bus, and I can't remember what the word is. Study him, see what he's like, see if he's able to walk, or so basically, if someone goes missing or themselves.
Right. So a bit of orienteering involved. Yeah. Okay. All right. So just outline one of the major issues relating to that activity for me. In terms of how it might affect the environment.
Because we was on a massive field, there was we stood on all the land.
Yeah.
So because we was looking, we was all separated, and there was no, we've got to stay in a specific spot because someone's been here on this bit before.
Yeah.
We was walking on everything.
Yeah.
So we was walking off pathways, there were specific footpaths.
So what's the issue to the environment if you're walking all over the land, the flora and
We trampled
fauna?
on all the grass.
Yeah.
Could be habitats for like little bugs or anything standing on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. How's that reduce that risk?
Well, there were certain areas which we could go and certain areas we couldn't go.
Yeah.
So there was footpaths. There was told
Yeah.
stick by a footpath.
Yeah.
It was marked out by white stones.
Right. So you're briefed.
Yeah, it was brief for you.
Who did the briefing?
I can't remember his name. One of the instructors.
The instructors gave the briefing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you give me another activity. Again, if you want to add extra to it once the discussion's going, feel free.
Got noise pollution.
Yeah.
And so like because we're in a massive field, there could be a lot of wildlife.
Yeah.
There. So when like we were going around talking, it could scare the wildlife away.
Sure.
And yeah. So,
All right. So just through loud noise. So how is that reduced?
Well, you talk to like people doing the search and rescue and tell them not to shout or.
So again,
keep your voice down.
so that's a briefing from the instructor again, is it, or not? Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Chris, if you give me another one.
Search and rescue could be light pollution.
Yeah.
Because when it gets dark in the afternoon, and if you search for someone, you have torches.
Yeah.
And you're doing it in the woods, like instead of wildlife, it's like shining torches everywhere.
Yeah.
It's going to wake them up.
Or destruction.
Destruction to them.
Yeah.
So to reduce that, maybe have like just one torch per team, something like that.
All right.
And like
Just reduce the amount of light.
reduce the amount of
Yeah.
light.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bruno, can you evaluate a couple of, or even add to that and evaluate a different area?
Yeah, I'm going to pick just evaluating the methods just spoken now.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to start by Chris's one, the light pollution.
Yeah.
Obviously, a way of reducing that is, in my team, we had loads of torches. We had like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I think a way of overcoming that will obviously be like just the leader of the activity just have 1 torch and just get the group together instead of having like 2 people for that with 2 torches and not 2. Obviously, it's going to reduce the spotlights.
Okay.
Obviously, the pros of that is obviously you're going to have less lights and less spotlights like going everywhere.
Yeah.
A con about that is if some members of the team just go far from the group, they're not going to have lights, so they're not going to know where they are.
Yeah.
And they might get lost.
We don't know where we're going because we've never been there before.
Yeah, and obviously that as well. Another one.
So it could be dangerous, is that what you're saying?
Yes, definitely. People could get injured and get lost or get lost.
You won't be able to read the map either because you haven't got no light source.
Yeah.
Yeah. The noise pollution, obviously was said by the instructors that do not shout and all that.
Yeah.
Obviously, a pro of that is if you don't shout, obviously you're gonna make less noise, so it's not gonna affect as much the wildlife. A con is in those 2 groups, you always get like the sorts of people that like to shout and like to make the silly jokes.
Yeah.
So they're not really gonna follow the rules strictly.
No.
And the instructions are not gonna be there all the time.
Yeah.
The actual activities are not there, so they can't control that. So it's a good method if everyone follows the instructions, but it's more likely that people are not going to follow the instructions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you've evaluated a couple of those areas.
Yeah.
All right. So all right. If we can just move on to the next.
Climbing.
What's the next one?
Climbing.
Rock climbing.
Rock climbing.
No,
Okay.
that's not rock climbing. It's just like wall climbing.
Wall climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you give me an environmental issue relating to wall climbing, Scott.
Yeah, you got affecting the wildlife because of the construction of the structures. So
Yeah.
wall kind of structure, and so like.
Just to make it clear, that sort of affects wildlife in like different aspects, like noise, like erosion of the land and all that.
Yeah.
Just to make it clear for you.
Okay, so like, while we're making it, while we're making the structures, it's been creating noise, so it can make the wildlife move away from the area.
Yeah.
Because it's too noisy.
And how could you reduce that?
You can use machines that have low emissions of CO2, or like machines that work with eco-fuel.
Are we talking about noise pollution now?
Yeah, but they sort of like reduce the emissions of CO2.
Yeah.
But also they make a lot less noise because you don't have engines.
Oh, right,
based on
okay.
petrol.
Right, okay, get that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Anthony, if you can give me another one, please.
Well, there is another one for wildlife as well. I've got for habitats. The walls were made out of wood.
Yeah.
But obviously, the wood has come from a tree which the birds have lived in.
Yeah.
Been nested in. So another way to get over that, obviously, use different material.
Right.
Or if they can't do that, and they still need to use wood, is every time they use the wood to make it, plant another tree somewhere.
All right.
So obviously, every one tree they use, plant 2. So in years to come, you've got more trees to make it if you need to make it again.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Good point. All right, Chris, do you want to move on to?
Yeah, sure.
You've just got one there, haven't you? An environmental.
Yeah, basically if you want to do the rock climbing, it's a wall, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So you need to build it first. So
Yeah.
it's affecting the land.
Yeah.
It's a field erosion. So they need to first of all need to dig a big hole.
Yeah.
Put it into this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just going to collapse.
Absolutely.
So that's affecting wildlife.
Yeah.
Like the animals that maybe live in the ground, or the plants.
Yeah.
Grass and stuff. So you can't really reduce that, can you?
Sorry?
You can't really reduce that, can you? Or reduce it by doing in a place where there's like, you know.
Well, is it,
you know,
when you built that facility, how often would it need to be built again?
just once.
So it lasts a long time, does it?
Yeah, well, that's
All right. So,
10 years.
would you say because it lasts a long time, would you say that because it lasts a long time, that's a good thing? It doesn't have to be done again, or would you say that it's still a bad?
That's a good thing.
I was just a bit of both. I would.
Yeah.
Because you've taken something away for permanent.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you haven't got to build it again.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already there, like, so it'll last you for years.
Yeah. Okay.
Loads of years.
All right. Bruno, if you'd like to evaluate a couple of those areas
yeah,
for
I'm
me.
going to start by the one that Anthony was talking about. I know, I got lost a bit. He was saying about using different materials.
Yeah.
Instead of wood. Obviously, a pro of that is you don't use the trees and all that, which is basically we need that for oxygen, and so the animals, and for the nesting and all that. But a con of that is you picking up different materials like metal, stuff like that. It's going to affect the land itself because it's heavier than the wood. It's more expensive depending on the materials you pick. So yeah, I don't really agree with that method of changing the materials.
Would you say making steel is less or more labour intensive than chopping down a tree?
Less.
Or less, yeah.
No, making the steel. In terms of the actual.
I don't know. how to make steel.
Well, it's a manufacturing process, isn't it?
Yeah, well, in that case it's more because obviously tree you just cut the tree and then you have to take all the bits offside and just like structure. But the metal you have to do like yourself, like in a factory and stuff like that. So using machines for that, they're emitting CO2 to the atmosphere as well.
They use CO2 for cutting the trees down anyway.
So that's another issue as well.
The steel, I would say, creates more jobs than steel work.
Well, it does, but we're looking at this from an environment perspective, and obviously what Bruno said is just the process of making that steel is.
Yeah, and then it's got more cons than pros.
Yeah. So.
Steel lasts longer.
Yeah. Have you heard of sustainable wood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that something? Is that is that something that you think they might consider using? It's like when you buy a table, it's sustainable, as in it's all right, that table's being used for wood, but something else has been chopped down or planted somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah, or it's been recycled. Yeah.
That would be the best option instead of cutting trees using wood that's been used before.
Yeah. All right. So look at one of the other areas for me.
So the field erosion that Chris was talking about. Obviously, you have to dig a big hole to sort of get the structures so they don't move from that, so they're safe for everyone to use it.
Yeah.
So the way to overcome that issue is obviously they have to plan. You always have someone, before you do any sort of construction or anything, you always have someone that has to make a plan for that to happen and sort of see this is a good place to do it, so there's not going to be any risk of erosion of the land or anything. So a pro of having that person to do that sort of plan is obviously he's going to know exactly where to do it and where not to do it for sure. A con is that it might be not totally accurate, and it's really expensive to get someone to obviously do that planning properly.
So why is it positive to the environment for getting someone to plan it?
Because we're talking about field erosion, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you have someone that makes research about the areas that are less, they got less probability to erode. Yeah.
All right. So whoever does the planning, the environment is going to be taken into consideration. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Obviously.
All right. Okay. So if we move on to your final activity, guys, please. So tunnelling. Scott, can you just explain how how that works as a facility, what it looks like?
The tunnel is basically a structure built underground. It's like a tunnel system underground.
Yeah. What's it made of?
Concrete.
Yeah. Concrete.
Yeah, plastic tubes.
Plastic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. And all right. So, having that structure, what issues does that, or just participate in that activity? What issues did that create for the environment negatively?
It's the materials used to make it, and the amount used to make it. It's like a lot of concrete was used.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of tree destruction as well, because they might have destroyed some trees to put the tunnels there.
Yeah.
Where it was.
Yeah.
And to reduce that, from the amount like concrete, you should use like recycled pieces of like old stuff.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, yeah, like.
So recycled plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't do it. Don't cut down trees to put down structure. You should
Yeah.
avoid areas that have trees, and you should possibly use different materials instead of cement and just cement, because that's man-made.
Okay. Anthony?
Well, when they made it, they cut all the grass out so they can go into underground and make it.
Yeah.
But what they did, they didn't trip the grass away or anything. They put it over the top so it covered it, so it wasn't
Yeah.
an eyesore. So anyone wouldn't make any site pollution or anything like that.
Okay. So reduce visual pollution.
Yeah.
It blended into the environment, didn't it?
Yeah. So when they put the grass on top, it made it look nicer. They reused the grass to also put oxygen back in the environment as well.
All right.
So it wasn't.
Yeah, more natural materials. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Chris.
Something like noise pollution.
Yeah.
So you make the tunnel, to use machinery like a cement mixer. That's quite noisy for wildlife.
Yeah. What about the actual activity itself? By participating in tunnelling, are you making a lot of noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can imagine like kids be screaming.
Yeah.
Or something going for the tunnel.
So what effect would that have? What effect would that have on the local wildlife and the?
It would affect the animals.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in the woods.
Yeah, disturb them.
We did it late at night as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Late at night as
So
well.
the birds would be sleeping.
They'll be sleeping. The animals are trying to sleep. You get screaming.
All right, Bruno, if you could evaluate a couple of areas for me in those.
So I'm going to pick on the first one, which was about the materials used.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was made of concrete and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
concrete is made of like chemical stuff, and that emits CO2 and all that.
Yeah.
So maybe an alternative for that would be having that made with recycled wood instead of, or like obviously with more layers of wood, so it does break. That would save.
Do you think that wood's going to last as long as the concrete though?
Probably not, but.
And then it'd have to be replaced, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's got its pros and cons. Obviously, that would be a con, and you'll have to do that again, like in a few years' time.
Yeah.
And last time in concrete.
Yeah.
But it doesn't emit as much CO2.
Yeah.
As concrete. Another one would be the noise. It's really hard to say the way of like overcoming that, because it really depends on the people that participating.
Yeah.
So obviously some people are scared of going on the dark, so they're not going to control themselves.
Yeah.
For example, like Sophie.
Yeah.
That we had in my group.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard to control that.
Yeah.
So the only way of doing it is like if you're not sure that you want to go there or you're ready for it, just like don't make them do it if they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So obviously that would reduce the noise pollution. A con of that is it was like, how many days was it? Three days it was, yeah.
3 days, yeah.
So obviously everyone went down there, so everyone wanted to have a bit of all the activities, and having someone not doing that activity is going to make them feel different than the other ones.
Yeah.
So that's a con.
So it's going to have a positive effect on the environment, not having that screaming and shouting.
but it
But
does
on the
have
other hand,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And with that, I think we've covered the 4 areas.
yeah. Okay. Are there any other areas, Scott, with regards to tunnelling, in terms of environmental damage that haven't been covered?
No, not for tunneling, no. We've covered the 3.
There were other things Skirn Lodge doing to make it very environmental. Like they had lights when they used to go out at a certain time, say no one's in the room.
On the building itself?
The building itself.
Yeah.
The lights would just go off, no one's in the room.
Yeah.
Also, all lights out had to be on at, I think it was at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
All the lights had to be out.
Yeah.
And they was all out.
Yeah.
So they come round and checked.
Mm.
And also they had specific recycling points.
Yeah.
As well, so cardboard went in this one, if it, plastic went in this other bin.
Yeah.
If it wasn't recyclable, then it went into the rubbish bin.
Yeah.
There's very rarely something went into there, something always went into something else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And also when we done the egg challenge on the obstacle course,
Yeah.
rather than putting the eggs back in the bin or
Yeah.
anything, chucked them into the wildlife.
Yeah.
Because all the little bugs can eat off the protein on that.
Yeah.
The egg on the inside.
So it's not wasted.
It's not wasted.
No, no, that's good. That's good observant that you picked that up. Yeah, yeah, they've got their own environmental policy at Skirn Lodge, and obviously that's part of it. Do you know how they reduce their energy costs, Scott, on the building?
They now have solar panels or something.
Yeah, that's the most common one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they got solar
I can
panels
see
on.
it,
Yeah.
all of them.
So solar panel, and they had their own wind turbines at some point, but they stopped working. So they've got their own systems in place. Do you know what the policy is for the staff getting to and from site, Scott?
Do they live on site?
Some of them do, yeah.
Rooms, yeah.
Yeah, but what about actually getting to the site and back? Do you know what the policy is for Skirn Lodge? Right. Did anyone pick that up from the research?
No.
Well, they've got a non-driving policy essentially, so that everybody who works there had to cycle there. Yeah.
Do they live like a certain distance from the place?
Yeah, and yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they're all locally as well. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Good discussion. Thank you very much. That concludes our chat today on the 4 areas, and obviously I'll go back, have a look at the video, and I'll give you some feedback on your performances. Right.